In this tutorial, I will teach you how to turn this into this using AI. Recently, I got this menu design gig for a Chinese restaurant, and I want to share with you how I use Midjourney to help them save hundreds or even thousands of dollars with food photography created by AI. You can use these AI-created images for menu design, or you can even sell them as stock photos online. I will show you how to turn a random food photo you can take from your iPhone into this mouth-watering, high-converting gourmet photography you can monetize. Let's jump right in. The client sent over some photos taken by the chef in the kitchen. While the authenticity was there, the photos are not really professional looking, and they requested to have one food photo to go with each and every food item. People who have experience in food photography knows that beautiful food images often require staging, good lightings, and sometimes adding inedible materials and effect to make the image look appetizing at a studio setting. This is not a simple task you can do by just snapping a photo from the kitchen, and not every restaurant has the budget to hire professional photographers for food merchandising. And yet, there are more and more restaurants in need of professional food images for delivery platforms such as Uber or DoorDash. But fortunately, with Midjourney V6, we are able to transform these kitchen snaps into stunning images fit for commercial use. One thing is, Midjourney is pretty good at making lifelike pictures now, but sometimes what you get isn't what you see on the plate. For example, I asked Midjourney to create a Chinese fish cake dish, and this is what I got. Well, this is a real photo from the kitchen. It gives you something good looking, but doesn't really match what's coming out of the kitchen. So to keep things real and avoid customer complaints, we're going to use actual photos of the dish as a reference for our image generation, so people see what they'll actually get without any surprise. So in here, I'm not going to walk you through how to install Midjourney on Discord, as I assume you've already done so. And this is a step you can skip, but before we start prompting, first I would recommend to open your own private server with Midjourney so you don't have to prompt in the ocean of other people's generation. And later you can also add other apps or your friends to the server for more flexibility and more streamlined process. To create your own server, click the plus button on the left-hand column, click Create My Own, and then click For Me and My Friends. Enter your server name and add a profile image if you like, and then we'll add Midjourney bot to the server. Go to Midjourney tab. On the right-hand side user list, you would find the Midjourney bot. Right-click and then click Profile and click Add App. And you will need to choose the server here. Select the server you just created. Click Continue. Then you can give the permissions that the bot will need. I just leave it all checked. Then tap Authorize. And then you will go through a quick authentication test. Then you can click back to the private server that you just created. Then in here, you can perform all the Midjourney commands in your private server. Just note that the images created on private servers are still visible to other users on midjourney.com, but now you can have more private chat room to use Midjourney. In here, we want to make sure our setting is default to Midjourney version 6. To do that, we type in /settings, and then we can set this version to V6 if you haven't already done so. Also, make sure that the remix button is enabled. You can also adjust the other default settings here to your likings, or just follow what I have in here. Rather than creating images from scratch with text prompts, we'll use the actual photos provided as the foundation for our AI-generated images. So this way we can retain the authenticity of the dishes while also enhance the presentation with Midjourney. If you don't have any visual references, you can also find inspirations on Google or Pinterest. So first, I want to know how Midjourney sees the photo, and so we can get an idea on what kind of prompts we can use when prompting Midjourney. To get Midjourney to describe the image, type in /describe. Select image by clicking or tap twice to get to the image. And then you can choose the image from your file to upload, and then enter. It will then give you 4 possible prompts to generate the same images. As you can see, sometimes it doesn't accurately pick up what exactly it is. Like in here, it has mistaken the wonton to be chicken. If you want to use any of the prompts, you can send the prompt by clicking on the number and then edit the details, or you can click Imagine All to directly send all 4 of them at the same times. Note that at the time that I'm recording, the results of the describe command is currently only suitable for Midjourney version older than V6. And Midjourney V6 has updated its prompting method to be more sensitive to natural language and discourage the use of junk words that are heavily used in the previous version, such as award-winning, photorealistic, and other abstract terminologies like we see in here. So I only use the describe command to get an idea for prompting, and Midjourney may be updating the describe command for V6 soon. But if you have a paid ChatGPT, you can also upload the reference image there and ask it to describe the photo in the meantime. At ChatGPT, you can click the plus sign to upload the image and type in describe what you see here in one concise paragraph. Actually, the description ChatGPT gives you here may be better for prompting in Midjourney V6 for now, as it is closer to natural language and it is also more descriptive. Just remember to remove the unnecessary interpretation that it may add and keep the part that it describes the visual elements as prompt. Coming back to Midjourney, let's compose our prompt. Here is the overview of the prompt formula we're using today. And we will have an image prompt followed by a text prompt and with some parameters going after. To get the image prompt, upload the photo by clicking the plus sign and hit enter to send it to Discord. After the image is uploaded, click on the image to open, right-click on the image again, and click copy image address. Come back to the message bar and type /imagine and then paste the URL. Add a space and then we will add the text prompt here. We're using a simple text prompt formula today. We'll start with composition and medium, and then the subject, and then details. So I got the text prompt I got from ChatGPT as the base, and I edited the prompt and removed a lot of unnecessary details. So here I got gourmet food photography of a bowl of wonton noodle soup placed on a tabletop. The soup has clear broth with white noodles, and it's garnished with bean sprouts and fresh cilantro on top. So this follows the structure we mentioned earlier about medium, subject, and details. And then we will add parameters at the end of the prompt. For parameters, the structure is dash, the parameter code, space, and then value. First, we want to control how much the image affects the result relative to the text prompt. So we use --IW and then a number to specify the image weight. The higher the number, the more the image will affect the results. Like in this example, the cake becomes more and more like flowers the higher the number it is. And the range for Midjourney V6 is from 0 to 3. And if you don't assign anything, the default is at 1. I normally use 2 or 3 as I want the image to look more like the original image. And then we can add --style raw. Adding this parameter will give you more photographic and literal result for Midjourney V6. We can also add --stylized to control how artistic the image should be. Stylized parameter is between 0 to 1000 and default at 100. The higher the number it is, the more aesthetic it looks in the eyes of Midjourney. But the trade-off is that it can deviate from your original prompt more and be less realistic. I make the stylized at 200 so it adheres more to my prompt but still has some room for aesthetic improvement. You can also play with this yourself. And then we can assign the aspect ratio by --AR 9:11. An aspect ratio is the weight to height ratio of an image. Here are some other aspect ratio possibilities you can use for your own project. And you can also put --V6, assigning the version to be V6. But you should be able to skip this one if you have followed the setup from before, and normally it is default at V6. And here are the generation. And as you can see, the image we created using Midjourney makes the ingredient more prominent and polished than the ones we get from the kitchen photo. And the wontons look a lot more visible, and the cilantro and bean sprouts look a lot more fresh, while it stays pretty similar to our reference image. Also, it picked up the background of our original image, which is okay as we will correct this later. Next, I want to add some red chili pepper on top. You will get 4 variations arranged in the order of 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want to see more variation of image 4, so I click V4 to generate more variations from that one. And then we can edit the prompt, and here I added red chili peppers in the prompt, and then we submit it to generate. Here are the results. I like the 4th image, so I upscale the image by clicking U4. And then I want to add an egg on the soup. For assigning where to change, I use Vary Region in this upscale image panel, and then use the selection tool to highlight the part that I want my egg to be. And you can use either the box selection tool or this free selection tool for more flexibility. And also you can backstep your selection by clicking this icon. And then for text prompt, I type in a soy sauce marinated egg. I'm not sure if Midjourney actually know what it is. And here are what we got. They look like the kind of half-boiled egg you can get in a ramen bowl, but not exactly the marinated egg that I had in mind. I guess you can also try it again and to be more descriptive in your text prompt. But to try a different method, I search online for a reference egg photo and upload the image to Midjourney like we did before and copy the image link. Then I tried again with Vary Region and put the image link and the text prompt. I want the egg to blend in more naturally but still look like my reference image, so I set the image weight to 2 and submit. Here are the results. I think the egg is a bit too out there, and it may require a few more times of reroll to blend in better with the soup. But overall, I like number 4, so I upscaled it. Now let's change the background. Same as before, we are using Vary Region to change the background of the image. In Vary Region, we select the background area and enter the prompt. Here I type in marble table with ingredients such as cilantro, gingers, and red chili peppers, scattered and artistically placed around the dish on the table in a gourmet photography style. And then we submit, and here are the results. I want to add additional space around and add more ingredients on the table, so I need to zoom out. I upscale the one I like, and from here you can use the default button to zoom out 1.5 times or 2 times. But I want to have more control of the zoom out details, so I click Custom Zoom. And here you can edit the prompt and assign how much you want to zoom by using -- zoom. And then the number. Here I set it to be 1.7. Here are the results. From these results, I upscale number 2 and then upscale again by clicking Upscale Subtle, because I don't want too much creative input at this point. And here is the final image. I think overall it looks better than what I can create with my iPhone, but the ingredients on the tables are a little bit too crowded and sort of steal the focus of the main dish. And the egg is making the dish a little bit unrealistic for some reason. But at the same time, I didn't try many times in the process, and I believe with more rerolls, the final results can look a lot better than this. Let me know if you have any other tricks for generating beautiful food images. If you're interested in learning more about other AI generation tricks, check out these videos and subscribe. I'll see you.